Thank you all for joining us today for the GPAC postgame press conference. We have head coach Quincy Henderson and student athlete Luke Winkel from St. Cloud State University. Huskies are advancing to the semifinals of the 2026 NSIC men's basketball tournament after their 78-66 quarterfinal win over the Cougars. We'll start off with an opening statement from head coach Quincy Henderson and then open it up for any questions. Coach?
Yeah, obviously very, very pleased with the result. Maybe didn't necessarily love how we got there at times. From the free throw line, I think that's probably about as bad as we've shot over the course of the year. But the one thing that's held, really through the last 2/3 of the season is our defense. We've really leaned on that, and to come out of that first half up 1 point when you got nothing going offensively, but you're able to get some stops defensively. That buoyed us through that half, and then I thought offensively we kicked it in the second, got some good ball movements, found some open shots, got downhill, and then a few of those shots went. So, yeah, really pleased with our guys. Sometimes that might crack you when your defense or your offense isn't getting it going in that first. But they stayed the course and found their way into a win.
Luke, leading the team, 29 points, stat line just awesome. What was working best for you? Obviously, a lot getting into the paint and throwing up some layups and everything too, but just what was working for you overall?
At the start of the game, I just found success getting into the lane, and then at half, Coach challenged me to get others involved, and that actually opened myself and everyone else in the second half when our offensive guys were able to play in space and hit shots that opened up space for me also.
Luke, another one for you too. Being a sophomore on the team, what has it meant to you to be kind of a leader and obviously kind of lead your team to this victory, but also it's the Huskies' first time in the semifinal appearance of the NSIC tournament since 2018 for you guys?
Yeah, I love the opportunity. We've got great leaders on this team. Guys like Nate Dahl, Wyatt Hawks, Anish are very vocal. We just got to trust ourselves, and we know we can do anything when it comes to winning games.
Coach, what does this mean for you? Your fourth season with the Huskies, first time here in the semifinal appearance, not your first time at the tournament, but first time in a semifinal appearance with these guys. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, I think I'm proud of the group. They've stayed together. They've stayed about the right stuff. They've just kept working. We've had some bumps in the road kind of early on, certainly with some of our juniors in their freshman year, where a lot of them were playing heavy minutes, and they just weren't ready. Physically they weren't ready. Skill-wise, they still need a little ways to go to play at the top of the league, and they've stayed the course. They've worked at it. Obviously, Luke is a sophomore. He started out probably a little bit slow last year, as every freshman does, found his groove and played phenomenal through really the last 2/3 of the season, and had a great summer and came back. And we got a collection of guys who have done the right thing, so I'm happy for them. That's the thing I'm really proud about, is the effort that they put in, whether it's 8 a.m. in the morning on a Friday, it doesn't matter. They show up to play, and they've represented the university really well.
Quincy, another one for you. Up one at half. Regular season, you guys went 1-1 against USF. What was that conversation like with the team at halftime to make sure you came out and was successful in the second half?
Yeah, I think Luke kind of highlighted the offensive side of it. We just talked about ball movement. I think we've got a lot of great pieces, a lot of guys that can do things offensively, and Luke draws so much attention at times, and it frees a lot of other guys up. And I think we finally found our groove a bit in terms of movement and screening actions. We got Wyatt involved then in some ball screen actions and had some great drop-offs. But I thought our movement improved, and our percentages showed that.
Luke, win today, off tomorrow, semifinals on Monday. How do you take this momentum into Monday and sustain that so that way you can be victorious and get to that championship game?
First things first is we're going to obviously celebrate for the rest of the day, and then new day comes, it's going to be preparing for the next game, and that's all we're going to be focused on.
Coach, kind of same thing. How do you guys prepare for Monday semifinals and getting to that? Obviously not knowing who you're playing yet, but getting prepared.
I think we just got to get our bodies right now. I think obviously some time off our feet, get hydrated. Any treatment that guys need, we'll get on top of that. And then, we won't know who we're playing until later tomorrow, so we've got to practice before then. We'll focus on ourselves at that point. We've played, obviously, the South teams, the second half or third half of the season, so we're pretty recent with both of them, and we'll get them ready. We'll watch some film at the hotel, and these guys will gear up and be ready to go after it on Monday.
Luke, Coach, thanks for your time in the GPAC postgame press conference, and good luck in the semifinals.
I appreciate it.